All right, we are live. Thank you for joining us, whoever is here. As you notice, we do not have Red with me tonight. It's just me, but we've got a couple of special guests. So without further ado, and I'll explain why Red is not here tonight. In just a minute, once I bring our guests on, I want to welcome everybody to the Twisted Pair. Or is this a Twisted Single since Red's not here? Oh, we'll call it the Twisted Pair. Anyways, bring out our guest. Well, my second guest, here she comes back. There she is. So welcome, Joe and Tiffany, to the Twisted Pair.
What's going on, Dave? What's going on, Tiffany? How are you?
Been a while.
All right, we got the band back together, huh?
We got the band back together. So we were back. We were all together back in November up in your town in Chi-Town.
Yes. Yeah, that was a great time. That was for Whiskey Fest.
Yes, it was.
What was that? November, right? Last year?
Yeah, it was in November.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, that was a good time.
Now, Joe, you've been on the show before, but Tiffany, this is your first time on the show, I believe, isn't it?
I think she's frozen.
Yeah, I think she's frozen.
There she is.
It's my
Tiffany, try to turn your phone sideways so we can see you better.
Yeah. Tiffany's having.
Is this any better?
Turn your phone horizontal.
How about now?
Yeah, we can see you, but turn your phone horizontal.
Hang on.
There we go.
She's on the run.
Apparently they're not real good downstairs. They had a huge storm and they lost their internet, so.
Uh-oh.
Kinda.
So you're going on cell signal?
Well, no, it's back on, but I guess downstairs the connection's not real good.
Oh. Well, I was saying this. I think this is your first time on the show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Welcome to the Twisted Pair.
Thank you.
So somebody's missing, and want to say that Red wishes that she could be here, but as everybody knows, her dad has been having some really difficult challenges with his health. He is 91, and things are not looking good at all. So I'll leave it at this. Keep her, without respecting her and respecting her privacy. Keep her dad, and her family in your thoughts and prayers. She's going through a very difficult time right now. She called me up and, was bringing this all to me last week. And I said, sweetheart, you go and handle yourself and handle your family. We got the show. I'll handle the show. So with this, as everybody knows, we have had a contest going on all month long, the entire month of July, to where I put out a blend, and I challenged all of our viewers and all of our readers. What's up there, Wade, Bill, Nubber? Challenged all of our viewers and all of our readers, our followers, to take that blend and come up with a pairing, a drink pairing, or a full food pairing, and explain why the pairing works. So one of the rules of one of the challenges was that you couldn't just say it works because I like this pairing or because I like this drink. The challenge was to talk through the blend and why your pairing, why you feel that pairing would work. It wasn't a cigar. In fact, I can't think of a single cigar that meets that blend. But so there was a challenge. So we had a couple of entries on Facebook, and we had a single entry on Instagram. And so the winner with just a drink pairing is going to get a a 5-pack from my own personal collection, which part of my personal collection is in this box right here.
I remember that case.
Yeah, you brought that case all the way to
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And also from Red's personal collection, so a tin can. Although during the show last month, when we announced the contest, Red and I decided to up the ante. And if you did a full pairing, meaning that you paired drink and food and explained to it, you're going to get a 10 count from my own personal collection and Red's personal collection. So our winners are Mr. Joe Bolino and Cigar Gal 84.
Yeah. Gee.
So surprise, surprise. You guys probably figured it out when I said, when I had both of you on the show, I invited both of you, and I said, oh, and come prepared to talk through your pairing.
Awesome. Very cool.
So when we get to it, I'm going to have you guys talk through what you decided to pair and why. And then we're going to talk through that. I'm going to give back my feedback on the pairing and then go through the others. But before we get to that, I want to know what you guys are pairing tonight. And audience, I want to know what you guys are pairing in our audience. So we'll start off with Joe.
Well, I was gonna say ladies first.
I mean, if Tiffany wants to go first, but
Sure, yeah. Let's let Tiffany go first.
All right. Well, I have Maker's Mark 46, and I actually have the Caratoba. Gosh, I don't know if you can see how well you can see it, but from here. So
okay.
the Ecuadorian Sumatra. So that's my pairing for the evening.
Nice.
Maker's 46 and the Caratoba.
Mhm.
Very nice. All right,
So
Joe.
I'm sipping on this. It's probably too bright, but it's by so it's the Whiskey Lab. They're a group or a consortium of independent bottlers, and this is Jay Roberts' Whispering Waters line, and this is a 9-year expression from the Breval distillery. It's a heavily sherried expression. I'm not smoking tonight because I've been battling a summer cold, if you can hear my voice. So I'm not able to smoke, but lately I've kind of been digging the Rojas statements. So maybe that's what I would be lighting up tonight with this.
Joe, this is the second live I've been on with you where you didn't smoke with us.
Yeah.
This is a terrible trend.
I have an 8-year-old daughter, so
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe she's just bringing everything back home every day, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, not only do you have an 8-year-old daughter,
Yeah.
you have a brand new baby too.
Right? Yeah, she's 4 months.
So
4 months.
last time we saw you,
Yeah.
your wife was still carrying her, and wonderful woman. Absolutely thoroughly enjoyed meeting your daughter. Oh my goodness! Oh.
Oh, I love it.
She's like, Dad, what the hell are you doing to me?
I love it.
Yeah.
She is adorable.
Thank you.
Congratulations on
Thank you.
the new baby. She looks wonderful, and from all the pictures I've seen,
Thank you.
looks wonderful.
Yeah.
Super cute.
I am pairing from Crown Heads. I've got the new Broadway that has a Connecticut broadleaf. You can tell really nice Maduro color of the broadleaf, and that's the only part of this blend that I know. I glanced at it as I was picking it up. It's a cigar I've never smoked, but I'm a big fan of Crown Heads, always have. And I'm just did a bottle kill with FEW Spirits Their Rye. So that's my pairing.
Should I do a bottle kill? I am.
I was going to say, I know you're home.
Yeah. I am drinking out of my leaf and grain glass. So.
Well, of course.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave, again for that.
Of course. All right, so let's talk about this pairing. Okay, well, before we get into your pairing, so one of the other entries on Facebook was, and I got to pull this up here and read it. Okay, well, first of all, the blend.
Sorry.
So again, this blend, I did not give a name of the cigar. In fact, I don't even know if there's a cigar that exists with this blend. So this really challenged you guys. The challenge on this was that you had to know the tobacco. You had to know what kind of notes you get out of each of these leaves, out of the wrapper, binder, and the fillers in order to do the pairings. As opposed to saying, okay, we're going to pair this with Crown Heads La Pastière. Okay, so we've all three of us, I know, have smoked the La Pastière. I could have said something like that, and it's like, okay, I know that cigar. I know it gives me this kind of note. I know what I'm going to pair with. So really, I wanted to challenge you to really think about what kind of notes you get out of each of these types of leaves and how they would come together. So again, here's the blend. The wrapper was a San Andrés Habano. The binder is a San Andrés Sumatra, and the fillers are both Nicaraguan and Dominican. I stated that you're not pairing with a lightweight. This would not be a lightweight cigar. This would be a cigar that is absolutely full flavor and full intensity. And it would be a full-bodied cigar with the heavy weight of the smoke and contents as well. I said bring a balanced contrast or a bold echo pairing, and bring your A game. So one of the entries was by Just Slap, and his was just pretty easy, pretty straightforward. They said sharing a sherry cask puts a nice finish that would go good with the wrapper. So he's talking, something, whatever type of drink finished in a sherry cask or a sherry itself would bring a nice finish to that wrapper. And I agree that the wrapper would bring, the sherry would bring a nice contrast to the wrapper of the San Andrés Habano. So as we get into this, let's start off with let's do it this way. Let's talk about our drinks, what drinks that we would pair with it first, and we'll go between the two of you. And then what food, because you both came full game, brought your A game and went full food with it as well. So we started off with Tiffany on what she's pairing for the show tonight. So Tiffany, what drink did you pair with this and why?
I wanted to go something a little different, kind of, because obviously I would always pick a whiskey. So I kind of tried to go outside of my element a little bit, pick something different that I wouldn't normally pair. And I chose a wine. I chose 2007 Bogle Old Vines Zinfandel. Now, to come to that conclusion, I drank a little bit of wine and know just very basic about wine. So I reached out to my family who does drink a lot of wine. And I talked to them about the different wines they drink and different notes and stuff they get from it. And this one sounded to me like it would pair very well. So, and it was kind of neat because I had never heard of an Old Vines wine before. So that was kind of neat.
Okay, so you know what they mean by old vines?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What do they mean by old vines now?
Well,
Put you on the spot here. No pressure.
So it was just explained to me that they were older grapes that they were using, like older. Let me think back. It's been a couple weeks now since I got quizzed on this. I want to say that there was just an older vineyard or something like that she was talking about.
Yeah, and it is. So typically old vines are vines that, if I remember right, it's either 10 years in age. No, I think it's like closer to 20 to 50 years in age or older.
Yeah, she was
But
saying
you're
that
right.
it would give different. You would get different flavor from those than you would from, say, like a newer batch.
You do because it typically when growing grapes, it takes about 3 to 5 years really for those grapes to really to start coming into their flavor. So when we're talking old vines, we're talking much older.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's 50 years in age. So why did you pick the Zinfandel outside of just you wanted to try something new? What is it about the Zinfandel itself that you thought would go good with the cigar?
Well, because the Zinfandel, she said I would get notes of dark chocolate, um, kind of tobacco, black pepper, spicy cloves, because she's had a lot of those before, and she said those are kind of the notes that she would get from that. And I said, well, I think that would pair very well with this. And I said, red wines, they give me headaches. So I said, well, let's go with this Zinfandel because it sounds like it would be something I could do. So
You could do a Zinfandel, and it's good that you brought up the old wines. Okay, so typically, when we get headaches um, from our red wines, it's because the wine is a younger wine itself, so it really hasn't had a chance to really start maturing, aging, getting into that nice maturation of it. And we see that a lot with younger vines as well. So having an um, older red, where it's got some age to it, helps reduce some of those tannins, some of those dark aspects of those tannins that typically give headaches. Okay, so um, I like that. The chocolate, the peppercorn, the cloves is actually a really good match for this, both in the wrapper and the binder itself, because of the region that it's coming from the San Andreas region as well. So, Joe, what was your drink?
Okay, man. So I feel like I totally had an advantage here following the Twisted Pair for the last few years and being a writer for Leaf and Grain Society. On top of that, and Whiskey Network, I've been writing pairings for I don't know 3 or 4 years now. So I might think of a way to pay this forward to someone else. Um, um, Given that, I do recall, the wrapper presenting us with like some nice, sweet, spicy earthiness, and you have to take these tobacco flavors into consideration when you're trying to pair a drink with it. The binder also enhances that sweet spice with like some black pepper, and even like some chocolate notes might present themselves as well. And this cigar sounds like right up my alley because I like dark, bold, leathery cigars. So this whole pairing contest was like right up my alley. This was like my effing jam here. The Nicaraguan tobaccos, obviously, as you smoke Nicaraguan tobacco, often you get some spice and some leatheriness. And I've just noticed consistently with Dominican tobaccos that you get like this campfire oakiness and like some sweetness in them. It's like, man, when I get that in a cigar, I know that there's some Dominican tobacco in that blend. So same thing with whiskeys. I like bolder, darker sherried whiskeys. So I did pick a sherried Campbellton Scotch, which is the Kilkerran 8 cask strength. This is a bolder cigar. The ABV, or the alcohol by volume, on that bottle was 57.5%. So we needed that boldness level to match up with the boldness level of the cigar that was described. Absolutely. But for me, it's not only the sherry, it's because you have a lot going on in that tobacco blend, with like the sweetness, the chocolatiness, the leatheriness. So I thought maybe some Campbellton Funk would pair well with it, to enhance all those sweet flavors, and also that oaky campfire of that Dominican blend, that Campbellton Funk would absolutely enhance that. So I thought that would marry very well, and that, to me, that's a very bold pairing. And again, this is right up my alley because you have a bold cigar, a nice bold whiskey, and yeah, I would absolutely get after this pairing if there was a cigar with this specific blend.
I didn't get to see what because I took my Facebook off for a bit, so I didn't get to see what your entry was. And I was like, I wonder if he's going to pick a Scotch.
Yeah.
Just based off of all the bottles you had on your counter.
Right.
I know exactly which way he's probably leaning.
I do lean more towards the Scotch side, but I will come back to a nice bourbon or a rye, or even a nice Irish every once in a while. But for the most part, I do sip Scotch.
Well, Scotch pairs so good with a San Andreas.
Yeah.
I don't even drink Scotch, but everybody I know, they're like, that's what I pair. That's what I pair. So.
I have to say, if you had come up with a Scotch pairing, I was going to call BS on that one. Every time I try to get you to drink a Scotch, or a single malt at Whiskey Fest, and that at Joe's, and then your friend's place, what was his name?
James.
Yeah, James. James place. I mean, I was trying every single way to get you to drink a single malt, and you said, nope, not doing it.
Nope.
Not doing it.
My palate I just don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
Maybe I should revisit it. It's been long time since any of that's hit my mouth, but
yeah,
I don't know.
We were all in rare form that night. I feel like we were back in college.
Oh my God, that was so much fun.
Did you? Hopefully, you got your car cleaned out.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, I had to use a flamethrower, but it worked.
Man, it's and I love Whiskey Fest. This is no knock on Whiskey Fest, but when you go over to a guy's house and he has more options than what Whiskey Fest, that says something.
Right.
That old granddad 16-year.
Yes.
Oh my Lord, that was
phenomenal whiskey. Yeah.
That was the steal of the show.
Yeah.
Every time I see that in the store, I'm like, I'm gonna buy it, and then I look at the price. I'm like, next time I'm gonna buy it. Yeah. That was by far the best. And I
actually went out and grabbed a bottle of it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That took me by surprise, big time.
It was fantastic for and that Lefroy 30 year at the show. I mean, how many times do you drink a peated smoky Scotch, and it's smokier than it is peaty?
Yeah.
And you come away with the notes of that was buttery.
Right. So it was a Lefroy 30, and then this obviously this Bravel. This is I discovered this at Whiskey Fest.
Yes,
from the Whiskey Lab.
I was wondering if the Whiskey Lab. So remember, Tiffany and I were walking by, and it was like, God, look at Joe. He's back behind.
You were
behind the counter.
You were behind. I was like, all right, he just works here now.
And then there was a bourbon that Tiffany and I found. I forgot we did the podcast on it. What was that bourbon? I forgot.
Stone Street.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stone
so
Street.
Good.
Yeah. Stone Street was good.
Yeah.
I did go out and buy a bottle of that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you know this, Joe. It's okay. But Lefroy had a bottle hiding behind there.
Really?
The 35 year.
Oh man. Yeah, I didn't catch that one.
They had the 35 year back behind there, and then I got there was another one, and the name just slipped my mind. Brutalaki's, that blend that they do like once a year is like the Octomore.
Yeah.
Octomore.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had their Octomore 17, 1
Yeah.
or 2 or something,
Yeah.
and I got the last drop of
Right.
it. It was like,
Right.
and be just enough just to tease your tongue, and I was like, oh, tease me, baby, tease me.
Yeah.
And then Booker's had something special on the table too. I forget what it was.
Yeah, Booker's had a
Was it? It wasn't a little book, was it?
I think it was.
It was a little book.
Because
Yeah.
we got some of that. We ended up actually we missed the Heaven Hill, but we got that.
I was so mad that we missed that Heaven Hill.
I don't even know how. We were there 5 minutes after it opened. I don't even know how we missed that.
Right.
And they had 2 bottles.
Yeah, and we were
like,
in the VIP group, so I don't even understand. That makes no sense to me.
Wait, can we talk about for a second how we got all the way downtown and knocked out the bean real quick, and then we still got to the Whiskey Fest like right as they opened the doors.
Did. Yeah.
It was like the most insane Uber ride from the burbs all the way downtown.
Oh my God!
Should we talk about how you were talking to the Uber driver and the people on the side of the road on the drive?
So after Whiskey Fest, we were all in pretty rare form, obviously, and our Uber driver was from like I don't know, Kazakhstan or something. And he taught me how to say "fuck you" in his language, and so I was saying that as if I was saying hello to everybody on the street, and they were like, "Hi," and they didn't realize what I was saying, so I was speaking some totally offbeat language, and it was a good time. Yeah.
That was all.
It was a good time.
I'm just glad we didn't get shot downtown Chicago.
Oh yeah. It was a good time, and that was the first time I think I have ever taken a sip of a pour and immediately poured it out.
Yeah.
And it was I can't remember the name of this distillery. My mind is just going.
Were we? You mean at the fest?
At the fest, yes, it was at the fest.
It happens. It happens if it's
sure, yeah.
It's obviously some craft distillery.
I don't want to say the brand.
Yeah.
But it was their American single malt entry, and I swear it was like I was drinking smoked water.
Yeah.
It was not good. All right.
I was kind of surprised at some of the vendors they had there, honestly.
I mean, honestly, it was the same way in Vegas the previous 2 years that I went to the ones in Vegas.
It seems like they're only doing it in New York this year.
The promoters got in touch with me about sending some people to Big Smoke in Vegas this year, which is in, I think, October. I can't go myself.
So Vegas and New York.
I'm going to reach out to some of the Leap and Grain people to see if any of them want to go, and then if so, I'll get them. But let's get back to the pairing. Okay, so first I want to say both of you guys hit it. You nailed the drink part of this pairing for sure, and both with completely different types of drinks. You mentioned why it would go good with it, both with the boldness that Zinfandel is a full-bodied red wine. The notes coming from that wine, absolutely 100%. Now let's think about that Habano. So a lot of times when we think about the Habano, we're thinking the spicy notes on it. And it does have some cooking spicy notes with it, but its predominant notes from a Habano leaf is the creamy notes. So if I'm talking about a Nicaraguan Habano, then, from a Jalapa, then I'm going to get some of that spicy, but it's going to be more of that milky, creamy type note. If I'm talking a Jamastra Habano from Honduras, then it's going to be a little bit more of that olive oil kind of creamy note. If I'm talking about an Ecuadorian Habano, then it comes in a bit more fruity. So now when we've got the San Andres Habano, I've got that black pepper from San Andres, and I've got that cocoa note, and more of that bitter with that creaminess. So you see why both of you guys hit that. If we're talking Ecuadorian has a little bit of a sweeter type note to it, but it's that earthy sweetness. It's kind of like that sweet leather. You know, like when Joe, I know you know this, and Tiffany, you probably know it too, but like, you know, you've got your baseball glove and you're out in right field and you're bored because nobody can hit it to right field, and you're sitting there chewing on that leather strand from the tie, and it's got that sweet leathery note from it. That's what a Sumatra is kind of known for, with that sweet earthy type note. So again, both drinks hit that. And then you get that amplified earthy notes from the Dominican, and now you've also got that amplified black pepper, white pepper, peppercorn type of spice notes from the Nicaraguan.
Yeah.
So perfect on that one. Myself, I would probably go with as I was thinking through this, I'd probably go with the 4-grain. And I'm thinking more along the line of maybe like a Penelope 4-grain cast strength. So I've got that fruit, that body to give me that viscosity with it, and then I've got all 4 grains in there to really give me a nice pairing with each of those types of notes, and bringing out some of that earthy, sweety notes, you know, even more so. So let's go on to food. Joe, let's start off with you on the food.
Okay, so for food, obviously this is like a bold, meaty type cigar and whiskey pairing, especially with that Campbellton funk note in there, which is just like a funky char type note. It's not peat, but it does have a little bit of char to it. So I thought like a nice New York strip would pair nice with this meaty pairing, with some like melted garlic butter and mashed potatoes to just kind of like balance everything out on the end.
Okay. Tiffany?
That's pretty close to what I did. I was gonna go with mashed potatoes, and I was like, I'm gonna pick something just a little different. But I went with a ribeye, so we were both kind of on the same wavelength there. I went with a seared ribeye, and I went with. I have to actually, because I don't have my laptop. I had to write it out, but I didn't get to finish because I didn't know till last minute. But I did sweet potato fries, ribeye, and what was the other? Do you remember the other one?
Let me pull it.
Oh, I did seared corn off the cob too.
Yes.
Seared corn off the cob with a cilantro lime seasoning. With that, I really felt that the lime on that was going to pair well, and tone it down. I think the lime was going to. Overall, the meal was a bold, robust meal, just like the cigar. So we both kind of went the same direction there.
Good. I like both of them. You both came really strong with the food pairing on it. And when you're doing a full pairing on it, it's also important to pair the food not just with the cigar, but also with the drinks. And the drinks both will stand up to that meaty, that gaminess of the steak, both with the T-bone, you said New York strip.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the New York strip, where you've got the fats, you've got that marbleized content of it that is really bringing forth those juices, and the flavors of the meat out. And the spirit, the whiskey is going to stand up to that really nicely. It's going to balance. It's going to counterbalance that, bringing some of those nice Hamilton punk and earthy notes that you get out of that particular whiskey. Plus, the sherry cask is going to add a nice little touch of sweetness with that. The cigar as well. Both of those are going to match nice to it and really take you into that umami type note.
Mhm.
Now, what order should we be doing the pairing in when we include food?
With this one here, I would not go food first. I absolutely would not go food first. And the reason why is because while those are good pairings, the fattiness of that content is going to really sit as almost as a residue, and that could subdue some of the notes of the cigar itself.
See, that's why I went with the ribeye though, because I wanted the high fat content. There's a lot of flavor in the fat too. And
that's why it works with the Zinfandel, because the Zinfandel is a full-bodied red wine. It's a very bold, full-bodied red wine, and it matches great with that. Just when you're going, if you went food, cigar, drink, your cigar, it's not going to disappear, but it's going to kind of tone down a little bit because of the fat content of it. That doesn't mean it's bad by any means. It's still a great pairing, and it will bring out all of the flavors of it. But you'll notice that the flavors of the cigar are kind of toned down just a bit. So what I would actually do if in this, with this type of pairing, I would go cigar, food, drink in that order. So take a draw of the cigar, let that smoke kind of sit and saturate my palate. Take a bite of that steak, maybe a bite of the steak and the mashed potatoes, giving myself or the sweet potatoes as well, giving yourself a nice bridge over into the drink itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
A little wash down in the end too.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Give me that a nice little wash on it.
Yeah.
Well, and when I came up with this, that's how I was doing it. I was doing it as if I did food, cigar, drink was how I was in my mind trying to put all of this together.
Which is great. I mean, I would love to find a blend or to talk with somebody about blending this cigar and actually cripping this out.
I was actually hoping it was an actual cigar. That's why after the whole thing was over, I was like, hey, is this an actual cigar? You're like, no. I'm like, damn.
Nope.
Because it sounds fantastic.
It's actually, since I started really enjoying San Andres wrapper, San Andres tobacco, which Leaf and Grain cigar that we did was a San Andres wrapper, but that San Andres is the Corojo. Is the Corojo wrapper. So but still, wonderful flavors, wonderful cigar. I wish somebody would make this cigar too. Really. Hey, you got some light on. So
we lost her audio. Oh, she's muted. There you go.
There I am. Yeah. No, it finally calmed down out here, but it was kind of dark. So.
Yeah, I saw your mom. Your mom said hi.
Oh, did she? Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Very cool.
she tuned in on YouTube. Jules, you're still watching. I wanted to say hi to you. For some reason, I can't. My comments here doesn't go to the Facebook page, which I need to figure out what's going on there and why it doesn't. But it may be my private settings. But anyways, yeah. So, food, great pairing as well. Joe, I don't remember if you did a dessert pairing, but I know that
Yeah.
Tiffany did.
No.
All right, so Tiffany, talk through your dessert.
I did. I don't have that written down either, but if I remember, it was a brownie with a small, small little scoop of coffee ice cream, and then I think I did a whipped something on top with a cherry. I think is what I put on top of that.
Let me see what I got. Dessert was an espresso flavored ice
There
cream
it is. Yeah.
stuffed by a brownie topped with a dollop of whipped vanilla mousse
Yes.
and a bourbon soaked cherry, which balances with the Habano, Nicaraguan, and Dominican notes of coffee, cocoa, light caramel, and vanilla sweetness, and also pairs well with the Zinfandel.
Now I just
That one, I got to say, enough said. You both brought your A game to this, which is encouraging.
So can I pay it forward somehow?
Absolutely.
What I'm thinking is, if one of the audience members or whoever can is first on the board, and Tiffany, you may or may not know this. I know Dave, you know this. Obviously, don't mention it if you do. What is my favorite cigar note? If anybody can put on the board, if they know what my favorite note is when I'm smoking a cigar.
All right.
And if they can do that, then Dave will send you my winnings.
Hey, Jules, I think we got one person on Facebook and one person watching from YouTube. So we've got two people.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jules, if you don't know it, think about some of the things that Joe has already mentioned here on it. And I know you've seen Joe talk about his favorite pairings elsewhere. So
yeah, it's a very common note that I mentioned when I've hit a certain level on a cigar or a cigar pairing, and then I'm like, boom, there it is. It's my favorite cigar note.
what is the favorite?
But if nobody gets it, then I'm going to take my cigars.
Yeah, earned them.
So, what did you guys think about this contest?
This was fun. It was fun. Yeah, it was challenging, but fun at the same time. And like I said, I felt like I had a little advantage, obviously, given my experience with pairings. But Tiffany, you did an excellent job too. So kudos to
I
you.
appreciate that because this was really freaking hard. You know what? It was a lot of fun when he threw it out there last month. I was like, I'm gonna do this, and just it's been a crazy month. Haven't been home and all this other stuff, so I didn't get around to it until like a little bit later on. But it took me days. It really took me days to figure this out, and it shouldn't take me days, but I've never done it before. Like
oh
this.
no, I not to brag, but I responded right away. Dave knows this, and I was like, I think I probably just shut this down.
After that, nobody else.
I was like, should I do it? But I want the cigars. I should do it.
And I actually just thought it was a really fun thing to do because I do like figuring out notes. I do like that complexity of seeing what I can pull from everything and just trying in my head to figure out, okay, what kind of compliments. I'm not a chef by any means, so this was a little difficult, but I kind of tried to think, all right, this is a really, really strong cigar, like in terms of the blend. So I was like, what will pack a punch with this? So that's kind of where I tried to go with it, heavy things. But that was a lot of fun. I learned a lot of stuff. Obviously, I took a couple days and went through a bunch of different wines and kind of learned a little bit about the wines and stuff. So it was good. I really like the challenge. I like that you threw it out there, that it wasn't just a simple some thinking and pairing and stuff. So I really appreciated that.
Yeah, and Dave, I think I sent you a sample of that Kilkerran 8 cast string ways ago. Did you enjoy that? I forget what. I sent a specific cigar to pair with it though too. Do you remember what that was?
Dude, I have slept or tried to sleep since then.
Yeah.
but yeah, and I've had Kilkerran.
I think it was the West Tampa.
Yes.
It was.
Yes.
It was West Tampa. Something. What's recently come out? Not the Time or whatever. Or
Did
Circle.
you do a pairing for Whiskey Network with that one and that drink in West?
I don't think so. I don't remember. Man, what cigar was that?
I
remember.
Oh,
the Addict series.
Yes. Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I do remember. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just came out with that. Is it like Circle or Time or something like that?
Circle of Life.
Circle of Life.
It's costly. It is.
It is, but it's good. I've had.
Is the price on point or
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of Brian's probably better cigars.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't really buy pricey cigars very often, but Vic convinced me to, and I'm going to do that. That's going to be my pairing. Is going to be this with that M Bombay. It was like M something Murray, whatever cigar. I've never heard of it. I haven't done the pairing yet. I'm excited. There's some like Peruvian tobacco in there and like some tobacco from Paraguay. Vic turned me onto the cigar, so I'm like, it's like $30-something. I'm like, okay, I'll do this, but I know what are we quarterly now for Leaf and Grain, so I like to do something special for those entries.
Yeah,
So
Leaf and Grain is triannually.
Okay.
Now. So we're doing.
And I missed the last round because I had a newborn to deal with and I wasn't sleeping. I had no energy or
you had
motivation.
Your reason.
Yeah, but this is I'm getting like French toast, maple pecan. It's delicious. And Breval Distillery. What's cool about this is a single barrel from Breval, but they don't really put out single barrels because they're used for Chivas Regal. Typically, they're used for blends. So I was pretty excited, and we did this with the Don Villancero in the beginning of the year for Whiskey Network on the Great Cigar and Pipe Show, and that was just an incredible pairing. And we had Jay Roberts on with us, but this is a bottle. After the show, like everybody, all the guys on the show went and bought a bottle off the website. That's how good this bottle is, because you don't really see stuff from Breval. So.
And I had tuned in on that episode, and I was trying to win. I was trying to win that bottle.
Yeah.
And I tuned in on when Tiffany was on, and I was trying to win that bottle. So I wanted that one from Stone Street. Because I remembered that one clearly from Whiskey Fest.
Oh my God, yeah. I spent 3/4 of my time at that table.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, where's Tip? Go check there.
Nice people, nice backstory to their distillery and everything like that. And I do wish them well, and hopefully they do get that distillery up and running and start cranking out some nice expressions.
Man, that was a good bottle.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also just recently discovered that Buckner's 10-year. I don't know if you ever heard of that. I forget which distillery that is too. That's Augusta Distillery. You guys ever had anything from Augusta?
Yeah.
Man, you get. I'd really like to try their Buckner's 13 expression. But that 10-year was pretty incredible too. And I just recently did a pairing with that as well.
That's the name of it, is Buckner's?
Yeah, it's Augusta Distillery, Buckner's 10-year or even their 13-year.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
We ended up giving a bottle of their 8-year away. That was pretty fun. We had their master distiller. What was her name? I forgot. She the short hair, but oh man, she had a blast on the show, especially before the show started.
Nice.
So yeah.
Well, you guys are nuts.
Yeah.
All 5 of you together. You guys.
She was like, "What is going on right now?" She was like a lost puppy on that show, but she's like, "I love this." So
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys will invite me back on at some point.
oh yeah, no, we definitely have to. You know, that's like tradition, at least once a year, right?
At least.
Yeah.
And we're over halfway through the year.
It's you know it's always great to have you on or do this just to brush up on our pairing skills, because just like any other skill, if you don't maintain it, you lose it, right?
Yeah.
You got to stay into it, and especially as you're growing your palate. So
Right.
So Joe, we've known each other for a number of years now. We've been pairing together. Tiffany, we've known each other for a number of years. And I do want to say, so for those who are watching and those who are going to tune in later, neither Joe nor Tiffany reached out to me to ask me any questions about it, ask me any questions about the pairing, about what might go good, what might not, nothing. And so I want to say kudos to both of you for doing this, actually doing this and taking it to the intent of what I had hoped that it would be. We are going to do more of these. There's not going to be one for August, I'll tell you right now. Next one will probably come in the October time frame with the theme of a fall pairing. I've already got some ideas on a blend to do, but I'm not giving any hints out. That no hints, no ability to pre-prep until it gets sent.
Dave, are you guys gonna put out another cigar blend like you guys did the Robusto the one time? That was with Rojas Cigars, right?
Yeah, that was with Rojas, and
I'm just digging Rojas cigars lately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love what Rojas does, and yes, I want to do another blend at some point in time. I know that Red wants to do one at some point in time.
Yeah.
This past year has just been so rough for Red and myself, health-wise. That's one of the reasons why we cut the magazine back from doing it every 3 months to doing it every 4 months. We're going to do April, August, and then December. So we got our next issue, which we're working on now, that will come out at the end of the month, and have got some really good articles coming in. I'm really excited about the cover feature story as I'm writing it right now. Interviewed a retired football player who has 2 Super Bowl rings, and a cigar blender who's coming up in. He keeps going the rate that he's going. He's going to be in my top 5 blenders. Guarantee it. He's already in my top 10 blenders. I reviewed one of his cigars, that's Steel City Cigars, and I reviewed one of his cigars in the last issue of the magazine.
So, what was the name? I think I missed it.
The name of the cigar brand is Steel City.
Okay.
It pays homage. So he's local here to the DFW area, but he grew up in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
So pays homage to it. If you have not had a Steel City cigar, you've got to get one. In fact, what I will do is I will put a Steel City cigar, which I've got to get them from Tony to do this, but I will make sure that there's a Steel City cigar in both of y'all's selection. Since it looks like you're going to be getting, keeping your cigars yourselves.
Okay, yeah. So paying it forward, if anybody can put my favorite cigar note on the board, then you can win my cigars. It's challenging, right, Dave? If If you don't follow me, then you probably don't know.
It's not, and
It's not like something you can research on Google. You know what I mean? You have to like
no. And it's not an obvious one. Oh, he likes Nicaraguan, so he likes that black pepper now.
Right.
It's so there's a hint right there. It's not a black pepper note. It's not one of those obvious choices.
Right.
So
and I do get a lot of flack for presenting that note, but it's a note that I do get on really good cigars. So.
All right, so I just got an image that Joel sent to me where he is pairing a looks like an Espinosa. I think it's kind of hard to see. Oh no, it's I can't read the label on the cigar, Jules, but he's pairing a cigar with a brownie and meat lovers pizza and a wheel horse rye. Right now. Hey, Gabe. Gabe, no, I'm going to say right now that no, it's not salt. That his favorite note.
It's not salt. Although I do like when a cigar is a little salty and makes your palate salivate in that way. Some nice leathery and saltiness. Men love that. Yeah.
Now, okay, so which type of tobacco which tobacco or which region would actually give you that type of a note?
My favorite note or the salty
type note.
Ooh, man, maybe like an Ecuadorian, maybe some like earthiness and saltiness there.
I couldn't even guess. I've never gotten a salty note.
Yeah, but maybe even some Nicaraguan tobacco.
Baccarat. Okay, so Joel said that a cigar is a Baccarat cigar. Okay, thank you, Joel. You could get salty note out of a Sumatra from Ecuador, but you're going to get really that nice deep rich salt, not that over saltiness. Almotempe, yes.
Yeah.
An Ometepe can. So Ometepe is from Nicaraguan region. It's the island that's in Nicaragua. You get that. It's a volcanic island there, so you get that really volcanic white ash, and you get a salty note out of that. You can get it out of Candigo wrappers in also Nicaragua. But I mentioned a Habano, not a Jalapa Habano, but a Jamastra Habano wrapper, because of that olive oily, creamy type note. It can have some of that saltiness in it because of how phosphorus the soil is up in there.
If I were to have guessed, it would have been any sort of volcanic.
So you'll get it in Ometepe, some Cubans. You get it in some Dominicans as well.
Are we actually talking like a salt flavor? Or are you just talking about it draws the saliva?
It has this saltiness effect of like making.
Okay, so you're not actually talking a salt flavor.
No, I mean it can be a little. You taste a little saltiness.
Yeah.
Too. It happens.
Yeah,
so, but
I've definitely gotten the saliva part, but never. I don't think I've ever actually gotten a salty note.
Hey Alexa. So get this. Because my truck's in the shop and I Ubered my way over here. And I had the most amazing Uber driver. And it's Alexa here. She just said, "Hey, Graybeard," in the chat from YouTube. And so we're talking, about what it is that we do. And I mentioned, what it is that I do with, write and publish my own magazine and do the podcast. And she asked about the podcast. So while we're driving there, we stopped at a stoplight, and she immediately went out to YouTube, asked what our YouTube channel was, subscribed to me, and said she was going to listen to the show while she's Uber driving.
Yeah.
So shout out to one of the best Uber drivers I've ever had in Alexa. Thank you.
Let me see if I can get that Uber driver from Kazakhstan on with us. Let's get him to say hello to everybody.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dave, you were in the back seat just dying laughing the whole time.
Oh, I was cracking up the entire time, because I remember we pulled up to the stoplight, and there was those construction barricades off to the right, and Tiffany and I were in the back seat.
Right.
You were in the front seat with the driver, and you rolled down the window, and you're just screaming out at you in Kazakhstan to all the people that are
like, how you doing?
bars and such. And this is when we were going to the concert venue.
Oh yeah.
After the show,
I got Dave to step out of his
Mm-hmm.
box there and see Tycho.
Yeah.
completely different style of music that I've never been to. Not my wheelhouse for music, but it was great.
It was good.
It
It
was
was
such a great venue.
Yeah.
But
I think-
you were yelling at all the people.
Yeah.
The entire way, not like for a minute. The entire way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
It
we said hello to a lot of people.
We
on the
did.
way to the concert.
Very
Well, I mean, you know what the theme is. Oh, and let me give a big shout out to Underground Cigars. I'm here at Underground Cigars, and so I'm so appreciative to Underground Cigar Lounge for allowing us to come in, take up a little bit of space here, and broadcast our show live from Underground. So thank you to Chef, who is sitting right over there. Can't see him because he will not go live. And to Don, one of the owners, and to everybody with Underground, putting together a great shop. If you want to find boutique cigars, go to Underground. You will not find anybody better than Underground for boutique cigars.
Who's like the hot boutique brand right now? I don't even know. I've kind of been out of the loop a little bit here. I've been sick.
Crown Heads is really stepping their game back up again. One that is not as well known. He's really well known here in Texas, in this area here, and I gave you a couple of his cigars. Is Osok. Osok cigars. In fact, I was smoking Osok Carboncito.
Osok is one of my absolute favorites.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter where I am. If there's an Osok cigar there, I'm snagging it. It doesn't matter.
Definition Cigars just came out with a new one that they just restocked here. A bunch of guys from Dallas here, from the South Dallas area, that's got some fantastic cigars. Bolivar Cigars, which is a wonderful cigar, especially for that sub $10 price point on a cigar. There's a lot of boutiques, and I recommend anybody, if you're smoking cigars and you want to expand your rotation, what you have, look into some of the boutiques. Rojas, as you mentioned.
I don't know if they're necessarily boutique, but this CAO FASA cigar,
yeah,
it's only like $10 to $12, and man, nice dark, slow-burning cigar. I loved it.
Ohana Nui. Gabe just mentioned Ohana Nui. So Ohana and 262 and Time Out cigars. That's all part of the Ohana Nui family.
Yeah.
Man, you get the Ohana toasted marshmallow. That is a wonderful, wonderful cigar. Comes out once a year, and when they come out, you got to jump on it.
I just saw they were making that in a different vitola too.
Yep.
I'm super stoked about that.
Yep. Ryan was telling me about it as well.
Yeah.
They're really starting to grow as well.
Heck yeah, super excited about that.
No band on the cigar, right?
Right. Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Is it the Connecticut or the Maduro?
The toasted marshmallow.
Yeah.
The Maduro is one is fantastic. Connecticut is good, but the Maduro is.
Got it.
It'll end up being one of your favorites.
Okay.
I
Check
guarantee
it out. Okay.
And money. Madison from 262 just tuned in.
Hey, Maddie.
Man, Madison, he's put out a cigar, and Joe and Tiffany, when I gave you guys cigars, when I was up in Chicago, I gave you the nines.
The nines. Oh, love that.
That is one of Madison's cigars.
Yep.
As well from 262. So Joe, Alexa asked, what is on your cap?
My cup. That's
Your cap.
saying,
No,
yeah.
Your hat. So what does it say on your cap?
I'm reading it now. It says, "What's in your cup?"
Oh, what's in your cup?
I don't think she cares what's on my hat, but here, this is by the Braval Distillery. It's a single cask. Whispering Waters is an independent bottler through the Whiskey Lab. So thewhiskeylab.com, you can find this bottle. Incredible sherry scotch, and it's a rarity because Braval does not put out single casks pretty much ever, as they're used for Chivas Regal for one of the
what region?
Speyside, and actually this is the highest elevation distillery in Scotland.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Alexa, I've only had half a finger. Okay, so here's a question that I get asked a lot, and I'm sure Joe, Tiffany, you probably do as well. When you're talking to somebody who is new into whiskeys and they're wanting recommendations, they ask you two questions, and I want you to answer both. One is, what do you recommend that is not a particular brand? Okay, so let's say, what do you recommend that is not Garrison? I'm a Garrison drinker, and I'm wanting something different than Garrison Brothers. What do you recommend that is not that brand or another brand? And what is your go-to? What is your go-to when you get asked? So, what do you recommend, and what is your go-to?
I'll let Tiffany go first.
What do you mean, like for them?
Yeah, somebody's
Or would
asking. So somebody's asking you a recommendation.
Oh, okay.
What is your go-to, and what do you recommend that is not an everyday drinker?
Not an everyday drinker?
Yeah.
Oh. For somebody just getting into it,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, geez, I don't even know, because usually I don't get that question of I usually get, I'm new into whiskey, what do you recommend? That's what I get. That's
Okay. So
usually, I mean, it's pretty basic for me with that. I just tell them, I pick up a weeder is usually, and it's usually, you can do Four Roses. Mine would be probably Old Forester 100
Right.
is one that I would go with.
Same for the bourbon side.
If they wanted a
Absolutely, that's
bourbon,
just a
yeah.
classic
It's
American bourbon. That is not going to have an incredible burn. It's a nice beginner. Even the 86
Yep.
Is good, but Old Forester is like the money spot for a beginner
Yeah.
bourbon drinker.
That's the one that I always go to if they're like, well, what do you recommend that you drink? Like, it would be Old Forester 100, but for somebody that has never touched a drop, it's usually, we don't usually tell them, Maker's Mark or Four Roses is usually where I go.
Now for the Scotch side, I would either recommend that Glenmorangie 10 or 12, and I think they came out with the new 12 year, or that Balvenie 12 single for that first fill, the first fill, not the double oak. That's a little more, yeah.
The 12.
Just the single fill, the first fill, because it's got nice like malty vanilla notes. It's not overpowering, and it's just a classic like beginner entry level Scotch, along with that Glenmorangie 10.
Yeah, and when they ask me about Scotch, I always say Old Forester 100 or Maker's Mark.
Now, if I really just want to fuck them up, I just give them a Lafroig 10.
Oh my god!
Because that's I didn't know any better, and that's where I started. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try whiskey now. I had Blanton's at a bar. I was like, that's great. And I went to Binny's. I'm like, let me buy like a nice $30 Scotch or a $30 bottle of whiskey. I didn't know at the time. I didn't even know the difference between bourbon and Scotch at the time. And I went right for this Lafroig 10 because it was like under $30. I cracked it and I was like, "What is this?" But I loved it. You either love it or hate it, right? And I loved it. I immediately stopped drinking beer. Went through this bottle of Lafroig 10 in like a course of a week, and like I lost 10 pounds immediately. I was like, whiskey's where it's at now, moving forward.
So
no more beer.
My first Scotch was a Balvenie 14. Balvenie 14, the Caribbean cask.
Yeah, nice.
My go-to that I recommend is the Blade and Bow. So Blade and Bow, it's a $55 bottle. It's it's an easy price to go to. It's got a nice, well-rounded high corn mash bill to it. So it's got a nice sweetness, that honey vanilla that you come to expect from a good bourbon. That's not a step up from your bottom shelf bourbon. So it's a step up from your Jim Beams, your Jim Beams, your Jack Daniels, Jack Daniels Tennessee, but you get where I'm going with that. I also oftentimes will recommend a Still Austin Musician.
Yeah.
Still Austin Musician. It's another one. It's a $65 bottle. Great for it's Texas bourbon. It doesn't have that true Texas funk, kind of like that Campbellton funk. It doesn't have that Texas funk to it, but it's a great one.
Now, that's Still Austin. Is that pretty readily available in Texas? Because it's not. I mean, you can get their flagship offering anywhere, but I cannot find any of the bottles anywhere else. I know there's a lot of distillery releases, but is it pretty spread throughout Texas or not?
Oh yeah.
Is it?
Oh yeah. I can go to Total Wine any day of the week and pick up a Musician. Are
they shipping to other states now, or is it pretty? Are they?
I don't know what markets they're in, but they've got a pretty widespread nationwide that you can get it.
Their flagship, but I haven't seen much else from them, and I've been to quite a few states this year alone, but I haven't seen it anywhere. Still Austin, I love it because of its history and the artwork on it because of that. And obviously being an artist and a painter and stuff, that's what I'm into. And I have
Oh,
just had zero luck finding Still Austin bottles.
it's their musician is their flagship, so you're going to be able to pick up that one. Their
What?
cast strength, you're not going to. Cast strength is going to be harder to find.
I have found the musician and I have seen the cast strength, but I have not seen any of their other offerings. And they've put out, I know a lot of them were distillery releases, but
Did they put out a cigar blend too?
They did, which I have not been able to try that yet. I wanted to get down there to pick up a bottle, but I haven't been able to try it yet. Iron Root, Madison mentions Iron Root. They're up in Denison, Texas, so still in the DFW area.
Iron Roots brandy is one of my absolute favorite brandies I've ever had, which is odd because you wouldn't think that, but I'll tell you what,
their brandy is good, especially if you don't like brandy.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not a fan of brandy, that's a good entry.
Are you guys into Armagnacs at all?
I love good
Mm-hmm.
Armagnac. Now, I don't like it. I don't like an Armagnac finished. I like Armagnac itself, but
Craig Lecky puts out a really good Armagnac finish 13-year. I mean, it's phenomenal.
What is it?
Craig Lecky.
Oh.
13
Yep.
Armagnac finish, and actually I have a nice. So Dave, you'd probably like something like this. This is 1985. Is it Bacta?
Bacta.
Yeah. This bottle is on my shelf for a special occasion. It was like $250, but I did a tasting with the guy. I think this is the guy he used to own Whistle Pig, right? And he sold Whistle Pig.
Yes.
And now he does it. He just does like like rare Armagnacs. So this one's from. I was born in '84. I was close, but this is 1985 vintage Armagnac.
You were born in '84.
I was.
Same.
Yeah.
I graduated the year after you were born.
All right, Joe, next time we come out, that's a special occasion.
That is a special occasion bottle to open up. Yeah. I got to come out to Texas. I've never been to Texas.
Dude.
Yeah, never been.
You both need to make a trip down here. Okay. Joe, if you're going to come to Texas, first weekend in March.
First weekend in March, okay.
First weekend in March. Weekend in March is the Boutique Festival, NFG, held here at the Underground.
Okay.
20 plus cigar vendors, boutique vendors that are here. McAuliffe will most likely be here. This year was their first time at the show. They're local, and I gave you guys each a McAuliffe. I want to say it was the McAuliffe Red that I gave you guys.
That was good.
Fantastic cigar. I've been thinking, since we've been talking, I've been thinking about what Scotch I would recommend, and for someone who wants to get into Scotch itself, a single malt, I think I'm going to have to go with the Glenlivet 12 or 15.
Right. I think Glenfarclas 12 is a nice, good beginner point too.
That is a nice, good beginner point. Madison had mentioned Famous Grouse, and then he laughed after that. But Famous Grouse is a really good blended Scotch, and is at a really good price point. I mean, when you can pay $30 for a handle, that's a good buy.
Yeah.
First time into an Islay, I think I'm going to have to go with a Kilchman.
Okay.
For an Islay,
they put out an unpeated expression, and man, I would love to try that.
That one I'm try.
Their unpeated edition is a little bit it leans a bit more towards the smokiness.
Right.
Of it.
So like any like Islay distillery that says it's unpeated, there's still going to be peat in there for some reason because it's like in the stills. It's there.
It's that well, it's part of their process. It's how they dry out.
Right. It's embedded in their stills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the way that they dry it, but it's how much they use to dry the barley and how long they dry it. So the longer they dry it, they're smoking it, the more smoky it's going to get. But how much peat that they use in that process, the more peat you use, the peatier it's going to get.
Like time and time again, I'm like, oh, it's unpeated whatever from Isla, and I'm like, there's still fucking peat in here.
Well, I mean, I've had some Macallans, and the Macallan is a Speyside.
Yeah.
And there's Macallans that are have some hints of the peat in there. So that tells me that they're using a little bit of peat in there to dry it out. It's what Scotch was known for.
Yeah.
Until the bourbon, really the bourbon blast, the bourbon revolution of the late 1800s, early 1900s, all Scotch was peated. But it was because of how much bourbon was taking over the market that they said, okay, we got to do something here to come up with something that's a little bit sweeter to get back to some of that market share. And that's why Speyside and Highlands went away. But, really went away from the peat. But if you're talking, the lower regions, so you got the lowlands and Campbellton and Aray and obviously Islay, they're still using peat in their process.
Right.
Can you think of a lowland Scotch that you like?
Ooh, lowland. I like that. Ooh, I'll tell you exactly. What it escapes me. I did a pairing on this. Let me look this up right now. It's a newer distillery. It's in the lowlands, but it doesn't sip like a lowland whiskey at all. Hang on, let me look up the article here for a second because it escapes me. What's the cigar brand with they use the bowls? It's Greg Free.
Fortaleza Libre.
What was it called before it was Forte? Oh, okay, so it was Midnight Bender. It was
Midnight. Libre.
Yeah, I did their Midnight Bender cigars. Let me look that up. Is this okay? So Lockley. Lockley is the distillery. It's a lowland distillery. If you see anything from Lockley, it's Loclea, like that. See, Lockley, especially this Faro edition. Oh my God, they are putting out some amazing scotches.
Well, you must be in your kitchen area because you've got all of your whiskeys right there at your hand.
Yeah, I probably have an unopened bottle of this somewhere in my stash. It's
Joe,
really good.
Send me the name of that after.
Okay.
I can look it up.
Yeah.
Glen Kenche.
Yeah.
I know you know Glen Kenche, Joe.
Yeah.
Glen Kenche is a really good lowland Scotch.
Yeah.
Isle of Arran is really starting to put out some good ones. And Madison introduced me to Isle of Arran. He gave me a bottle of it one day. I think it was 2 years ago that I just absolutely fell in love with it. It was so good.
I think is Caninvie also lowland? You had anything from Caninvie?
No, I think they're Highlands.
Are they?
I think they're Highlands.
But yeah, I mean, when you say lowlands, what comes to mind is that Lockley distillery.
The Lockley is
and that's actually the property that dude lived on. What's that Scotch day for that one dude?
That day just passed not long ago too.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's so and so day. It's like a big Scotch day. But Burns.
Yes. He's one of the ones that he was one of the master distillers for Lagavulin.
Right. So this was his this was the property that he actually lived on, and they built a distillery on the property, and it's like a it's like a farm distillery.
Very, very good. Very
yeah,
cool.
but they use their own grains and everything. So kind of like Springbank. They use they use all their own stuff.
Yeah.
They grow their own stuff. It's just when you hear a distillery doing that, like Springbank or like Lockley, where they do everything in house. I think Glenfarclas even too, right? It's just just phenomenal whiskeys that they put out.
Well, Kilterman, that's one of the things that
Kilterman, yeah, absolutely.
That's one of the things. They were an older distillery that died off. That in the past 5 to 7 years, really started to come back and rebuilding their distillery and bringing back some of their classic styles that they did back in the original. So they're fantastic distillery as well.
Yeah. So in my opinion, it's a great time to start getting into whiskey, just because the whiskey industry is so. There's so many new whiskeys out. There's so many whiskey brands coming out now that are just your ability. Like when I got into whiskey like 10 years ago, there was nowhere near as many like craft distilleries as there are now. So there's just so much more to experiment with. As far as getting your hands on new bottles or new types of whiskeys. I think there's they call it like a whiskey glut, right? That we're experiencing in this country. There's so much whiskey available because of that whiskey boom that occurred because of the pandemic. But yeah, it's still a great time to be getting into whiskeys and cigars. There's so many cigar brands coming out as well too, putting out these incredible blends that you got these craft cigar brands that are just really spending the proper amount of time and focus on putting on a good blend, because in my opinion, you got like one crack at it. If you put out a shit blend, and I'm not gonna lie, there are about 2 or 3 companies that send me cigars for their test blends, and majority of them I'm like, this is absolute shit. Like, do not put this out to market. You will absolutely destroy your brand if you put this out. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I feel like maybe the factories are trying to push cheaper blends for I don't know what's going on there, but I get these test blends and I'm just like, I don't think I found one yet that I like. And they're like thank you for your honesty. I'm like, this is absolute horse shit. It's either I'm not getting any flavor, or it's not smoking properly, or whatever's going on. But like, don't do this.
I've got the same where I've gotten some test blends, or
right? Isn't that crazy? Like, what is this? This is like.
Will you review this for me? And I come back and it's like, okay, I'm not going to publish it. I'm not going to publish the review.
Right.
Here's my review, and here you understand why. And Joe, because we've talked about how we score and how we review, and within Leap and Grain, we've really put together a really well-defined process of what we look at, and we talked about it here on the show many times as well.
There's so much involved in critiquing a cigar.
Oh, absolutely. And if I get a cigar and a spirit, I've had some that I would go, I'm sorry, I can't review this. Well, why can't? Because it's going to come at a score underneath 80, and here's why. Now I'll publish a cigar with a score of 80 or above. We've done that. And there's one particular one that you've scored, and I don't want to mention the brand. I don't want to mention
Right. It's published. If you want to find it,
you can go out to the website and see.
I was honest about it.
Well, the VP called me up afterwards and said, 1, thank you for that. Number 2, I see Joe's reason why. Can we talk a bit about that? And we talked about that. And he went back to the blender, the one whose name is on the cigar, and said, just as the review on it. And if you notice, their next release of that cigar was a bigger Vitola.
Okay, good. Yeah,
It was
'cause that was what was leading me to. I'm like, you know what? I feel like the blend just didn't have an opportunity to really develop with this really small, short Vitola that they were using for it. So good. I'm glad.
Yeah, they came back with a larger Vitola, and I smoked the Vitola, and I got back with them, and I said, now that one hits.
Okay,
That's what this one needed, and it smoked great.
Good.
With it. So, but yeah, I mean, I've had those. I haven't been sent to any wines, to review, but I've had some wines that I come back. I was like, okay, let me see if I want to do a pairing on this wine, and I've tried it. It's like, can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it because I don't want to present something that is going to cause a detraction from the brand itself. Because I mean, what the three of us, and how entwined we are in all sides of the industry, from being in media and trying different blends and trying different, cigars and whiskeys and such. We all know that they work hard at this.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of the boutiques, the younger, newer boutiques, they may be getting tobacco that's, instead of it being a first priming grade A, grade B, they may be getting a grade C or a grade D tobacco that who they're sourcing it from is like, okay, well, we're going to use this over here. Here's your blend. And it just doesn't fit for those who have the palate to really be able to discern the different types of notes that exist in it. And all three of us do. And you two just show that you do have that palate to be able to discern that from the pairings that you recommended on the cigar. So, one of the things I wanted to say, back to what we were talking about earlier, in the 4 years, and we just celebrated our fourth year for doing this within Leap and Grain. In the past 4 years that we've been doing this and working with both of you, because I've worked with you, Joe, quite a bit, and I've worked with you, Tiffany. You both have really started maturing in your palates and really started understanding what it is that you're smoking, being able to discern the flavors from the cigar and being able to discern the flavors of your whiskeys and the different types of drinks and how these are going to go together. I know that neither of you are really big into wines. It's more my thing, but
yeah.
I can see that in what you're doing. So
right, it's not easy. It does take time, and like I say it takes a good 5 years for you to really develop your palate for intricate notes.
One of the first things so I've been drinking whiskey a lot longer than I've been smoking cigars, and one of the first things that I noticed when I kind of really started getting into cigars was like with Red, her knowledge, it's not book knowledge, it's experience knowledge.
Right.
And the things she was saying, I'm like, you can only get that from actually having, because she's been smoking for what, 30 years, 30 years or something? It's a long time.
She's in that 20-25 year.
Yeah, okay. I knew it was quite a while because she was real young when she started, like 19 or 20 or something like that. But but anyway, just when she talks about cigars, you know that's just coming from experience and stuff that you can't read from a book and learn it in that way. But back to what you were saying, as far as a lot of the questions I get at the lounge that I work at is why can't I get this cigar in this particular Vitola? And it's like, because that blend didn't hit with that size. So they didn't produce it in that size.
Exactly.
And I get a lot of people that are very upset because they want, a specific, whatever size it is, Churchill or whatever they want. And it's like, yeah, but you could get this blend if they would do it, but it wouldn't hit like you think it's going to. I mean, West Tampa, for example, when they put out the Circle of Life, they only did it in 3 vitolas, 3 different sizes, because they tried it in a bunch of other ones and it just didn't hit in those sizes. So that's why they only produced it in those 3. And people just don't understand that just because you pick a cigar that you like, it's not going to be the same for every single size that you get it in.
Right,
So,
exactly. They're going to blend a cigar. They're going to blend a cigar to a particular vitola, and then if they want to offer that in another vitola, say like going from a Robusto to a Toro is a pretty easy shift, but going from a Robusto down to a Corona, that's a little bit of a harder shift because now I've got a much smaller ring gauge, and I have to take out some tobacco. Well, if I'm taking out some tobacco, then I'm changing the blend on it. Well, I may be taking out a half a Ligero, or maybe taking out some Visos on there. Well, if I'm taking out some Visos on there and I'm leaving just Secos and the Boleros in there, then I've really changed the flavor profile of it because I've had to reduce the amount of tobacco for the smaller ring gauge. Well, going the other direction where you've got a lot of people that say, okay, I want a Gordo, which a Gordo is going to be a 660. Well, if my blend is for a Robusto, which is a 5.550 to 5.552, and I'm taking that to a 660, well, now I'm having to add tobacco.
Yep.
Well, if I'm just adding Secos in there and I'm not changing the blend, I'm not adjusting the blend to really come back with that same profile that I'm looking for. Now I'm throwing in more tobacco just for the combustion, and I'm getting more earthy type notes in it because the Secos is my second to bottom leaf, and that's all I'm going to be getting in there. Well, if I'm throwing Visos in there, well, now I'm changing that profile on there. So you're exactly right. To go to have that particular blend in so many offerings on that, well, it's either because I'm mass producing and I'm just wanting to have a blend that anybody for any type of vitola wants to smoke it. I'm going to have a completely different smoke from Robusto to Gordo to Churchill to Lancero to Corona to Solomon, and so forth on that. It changes it. And Madison, you're a blender, and Gabe, you're a blender both as well. I mean, you guys are still on here. You can speak up to what we're talking about in here. I'm not sure if they're still on here because we've dropped down to 2 just on YouTube. Cigar Apostle, I know you know what we're talking about here as well. So, audience, you guys can chime in on what we're talking about in here. And the same thing goes with your whiskeys. A Lagavulin 10 is going to taste much different than a Lagavulin 16. That's going to taste much different than a Lagavulin 20. Why? Because now that blend is aged more, so it is the older spirits that have aged longer in the barrels. It's going to be pulling more out of the barrel, more flavor notes out of it. Just as if I go from a very well-known brand, Knob Creek. So I could talk, we're talking a Knob Creek 9 to a Knob Creek 12.
Mm-hmm.
They're vastly different drinks. Vastly different drinks.
Did we have anybody guess Joe's blend?
No. Nobody.
If you can guess my favorite cigar note,
Or no, yeah.
then I'm going to pay it forward and have Dave ship you my winning cigars.
And you got 5 minutes to do it in, because we're gonna be closing this up at quarter till. So you got right at 5 minutes and 10 seconds.
Go to whiskeynetwork.net and start reading my articles right now.
Go to Leaf and Grain Society and read some of the
I'm sure it's there too. Yeah.
Oh, it's there.
Yeah.
So at
When's the next magazine? Around what time is it supposed to publish?
End of August.
End of August, because I'll be, as soon as this head cold passes, I have it written out already. I'm gonna run through that pairing. I'm excited about it because it's not often I spend $30 some odd dollars on a cigar, and I don't know anything about this cigar brand really. They're made in Costa Rica, so I'm assuming maybe it's going to be something like a Byron or something along those lines. But Vic, he's my guy, and he highly recommended it, so I'm like, I believe you. Okay, and pairing it with this special Scotch, I'm excited. Yeah.
Final question. This is cigars. And Joe, I've got to throw a blocker in here on this one for you. What is your go-to smoke when you're not thinking about it? You want to smoke a cigar. You go to reach in your humidor. Which one are you going to grab? And Joe, you cannot mention the Don B.
So lately on the daily, I've really been enjoying these AJ Fernandez last calls. The Maduro.
Yeah.
They come in they're Robustos. As of lately, I don't really have much time for Toros. So it's like a 30, 45 minute smoke. They're like Robusto size. They come in even smaller than Robusto if you really want. But they come in like a 25 count box, and it's like $110 online. Vic doesn't even have them in his humidor. But I'll bounce between their Maduro and their Habano, and I'm under the impression it's probably leftover tobacco that they're rolling into like these smaller Robusto sizes. But just for on the daily, like on duty, I don't feel bad putting it down because in total they're like $5 each,
right?
But some of them are like really, really good. Some of them are just crap, but like in your box of 25, majority of them will be like really good. So that's kind of what I've been just like without thinking about it, I'll just grab a last call from, and I do buy them by the box because they're so cheap. Yeah, just because they're so cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get them in a Toro size or like a longer size, but I just get them in those small like Robusto sizes, and just I'll smoke like at least 2 of those a day. Yeah.
Tiffany, what about you?
Well, you probably know my all-time go-to. Any idea?
Oh, I know what I would say, but I'm not gonna say it.
So honestly, as an everyday whatever, just putzing around the house, whatever, it's gonna be the Woodfighter dumpster fire.
Yep.
That's always been my kind of go-to, whatever. But the Osaka barber pole, if I had an unlimited supply of those, man, I'd be all over that every day.
Osaka is now Underground's house. Osaka and Ohana are now both doing the house blends for
Oh my God, the toasted marshmallow. If I had an unlimited supply of those, absolutely. Okay. I do as like a fun treat. If it was in my price point, it would be the McAuliffe Magnolia. It would be that one.
The Magnolia is good. The Experientia is probably my favorite from McAuliffe.
Yeah.
But like you said, price point wise, it's not really an everyday go to.
But it would be if I
Yeah.
Every time it's in, I have a couple in my humidor, and every time I'm like, ooh, I really want to smoke you.
That's what I love about the last call is the price point. Because if I'm on duty, and I catch a call and I got to put it down, I'm like, at least it wasn't like a $12 cigar.
Yeah.
Right.
So I just, and I just like the blend of the dumpster fire. I don't know. I mean, I know it's, that's like a $5 cigar as well.
Yeah.
And I know they have better blends that are, a little bit pricier.
Yeah.
But I just
there's some broadleaf in that last call that I like. I don't know if it's.
I'm with you on both of those. The dumpster fire is a great It's a great everyday go-to. The last call from AJ is an everyday. It's a good everyday.
They're small and they last a good 45 minutes, even
Yeah.
up to an hour if you're
Mhm.
taking your time with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like a daily cigar for $5.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, are both of those, fantastic, phenomenal, blow you away type cigars?
Just
I
they're
would
just
say-
enough to impress me.
Yep.
Yeah,
But like doesn't blow me away. But I'm like for $5, yeah, absolutely. This is solid.
Just gonna
I
enjoy.
think I think mine has probably got to be the Bolivar Oscuro.
Mm.
Bolivar Oscuro for a sub $9 cigar
Yeah.
is just full of flavor. They've got history, the story behind them, and
Yeah.
it's a great cigar when you just want to pick up something without having to think about it. Enjoy a good, 35-45 minute smoke, and just relax.
Yeah.
Just chill out, relax.
I think you gave us one of those, didn't you?
Yep, I gave you guys
Yeah,
both.
I think you did.
Bolivar too.
Yep, I think you did.
I gave you both a shitload of cigars when I was there.
Yep.
I think I dropped 10 or more of each for you.
Well, you did drink a shitload of whiskey while you were
Yeah,
here
you
too.
did.
Dave and I were literally drinking whiskey up until the point where I had to drive to the airport. In the morning, that was hilarious.
Yep.
Well, we even stopped over at the speakeasy that Gon has.
Yeah.
That over there, and had a good pour of, had a good beer, and
Yeah,
then tried
I
a
remember
couple
that, yeah.
of pours, and then
Good. That was good. What was that beer? That was
Oh, man, I forgot.
it was like a chocolatey something or other. I can't remember. It had like a Halloween theme on it, or it was like a castle or something. I can't remember now.
It might have been something from Old Irving Brewery here in Chicago, which is on Montrose.
Probably.
I think I remember. I think I did right. I think I had like a 4-pack of it
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was like it was definitely like some kind of stout, right?
Yeah.
it was a stout.
Yeah, that's good. I've actually been like I'm not really into beers anymore, but it's been so hot in Chicago that I've actually been buying like those nice 4-packs of like stuff from Old Irving Brewery at venues.
So hot in Chicago. What's the
Yeah.
temperature there right now?
Dude, it's been like in the 90s, like every day here.
What right now? What's the temperature?
Right now, let's see here. It's only 72 now. Today it actually cooled off, but like consistently, we've been like in the upper 80s to mid 90s this whole summer. It's been like unreasonably hot.
Okay, it's 9 p.m. here,
Yeah,
just like it is there. I know it's 10 p.m. where Tiffany is.
right.
Coming up to her bedtime.
Yeah.
Pass.
It's 98 here still.
Wow. I don't know how you guys do it in
I
Texas
don't know what
or
it
in
is.
Florida too. Like I usually am out back in the evenings in my backyard smoking a cigar in the evenings. I can't even do that. It's just too hot for me.
It was when I got here to Underground at just before 6. It was still 102.
Yeah.
102. And still,
I'm noticing, Dave. Dave. You must be rubbing off on me because I got a lot of gray action going here. I might be the next graybeard.
there's only one.
There's
There's multiple men that have gray beards.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And two, you could be walking across the street, walking across the street in Grapevine, or walk into a distillery or into a cigar lounge, and they go, "Hey, Graybeard,"
Right.
and you're like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Then you can be Graybeard.
Me, it's usually like, "Hey, dumbass."
Hey, dumbass, or hey, cooch. Hey, cooch.
Yeah.
All right. So, What? So nobody can win the pay it forward now.
Man, that was
What is your favorite note?
marzipan. They call me Joey Marzipan. That's like a creamy like nut pistachio paste type note that I do get on really really good cigars. Leather is probably like my second favorite note. Like a nice either like a nice like baseball mitt leather or even like a saddle type leather note. Man, we're in good shape.
More for that more towards
love Maduros. I love Maduros. I'm always smoking Maduros. I'll come back to Habano just so I don't kill my palate. I never really smoke Connecticut's. They just don't do much for me, unfortunately. There's the Island Gym Connecticut that's really good.
When you said when I asked you the question about your everyday smoke, I thought you were going to come back with Leaf by Oscar, the Maduro or the Sumatra.
No, right now, and it's been consistent for a few months now. Is these AJ Fernandez last calls? Just because they're so cheap and so like 90% of them on the box are just phenomenal. They're only like $5 total a stick.
I picked up some of those and some of the Island Gym.
I'm not going to tell you where I get them from though, because then I don't want. I don't, you know. Yeah. But Vic, I told Vic, I'm like, you need to have these on your humidor. He doesn't have them. So.
Tiffany, your favorite note on a cigar?
Favorite note. I would have to say any sort of a coffee note, a cocoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything like that. I do like a toasted nut though. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Toasted nut flavor. Oh.
Yeah, like leathery, nutty.
So
you
good.
know.
Yeah.
There's a cigar I recently, and I reviewed it. It's coming out soon in Whiskey Network. Is the Banda by Ironclad Cigars, and I think he's in Texas too. Randy Wheeler, Ironclad Cigars.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He's law enforcement as well. His cigars are made by Ismail. And by the Rodriguez Olivan factory in the Dominican Republic. Mm-hmm. This cigar has 8 different tobacco regions in the blend. But the main note that I get out of the blend is ginger.
I thought you were going to say marzipan.
No, it was ginger. It was ginger all the way. And we had Ish on the show with us at the time on the message board. And Frank was saying he was getting cinnamon. And he was like, no, it's not cinnamon. It's ginger. I'm like, yeah, I was saying ginger. I'm like, totally. Like ginger is totally dominating. But it was crazy how you had 8 different tobaccos blending together to give this one crazy dominant note.
One thing I'll say about Ish is he's probably one of the few blenders, cigar makers, whatever you want to call him, the whole, conglomerate that is actually super accessible. I mean, there's a lot of them, but he is on every Discord that I've ever jumped on. I'm like, oh, Ish knows these people too.
He's always on. And but then he's not even smoking cigars. He's smoking cigarettes.
Literally.
The first time I was on with him and saw him smoking a cigarette, I was like, dude, we're talking about cigars here. Why are you? But Nish Patel. We'll do the same.
Yeah.
Nish Patel, he'll be smoking one of his or one of Rocky's, and then he'll get done and he'll grab a cigarette and light it up. Like, Nish, really?
Right.
What's up?
Yeah.
I think my favorite note is probably that dusty trail of earthy note,
like that vintage.
Yes.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking. Like it's almost like a dusty library book note.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think that's probably my favorite note.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I appreciate you both coming on and spending this past 2 hours with me on this.
Appreciate it.
Been a great
Thank you.
show. I think we're seeing here from Jules saying that he learned a lot from it. An awesome episode. If you guys are, still tuning in, for those of you who watch this and tune in later, please go out and hit that like. Go out and follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, on YouTube. It's Leaf and Grain Society. Across all of those, it's Leaf, the letter N, Grain Society. Hit subscribe, hit that subscribe button, because we're going to be doing more. You're going to see Red and I. Red's going to be back next month. We're going to be coming back to you with another pairing. We're going to choose a cigar and then choose our own pairing and talk about that cigar and how that goes with the different pairings with it. So that's going to be coming next month on it. End of August next month is the next issue of our magazine. You're not going to want to miss that. So please go out to the website. Go out and read the articles and hit that like button on our articles. Let us know what it is that you're reading and what it is that you're wanting to. If there's something that you want to see, let us know. Send Red a message. Send myself a message. You want to see a review of a cigar or what our thoughts on something. Message us and let us know. We will respond to you. Until then, appreciate you guys tuning in. You two stay on. Thank you very much. And until next time, as we always say, enjoy the leaf. No, what? That's Texas Cigar Roadshow. They say
enjoy the pairings. There's something for everyone. There's something for everyone.
There's something for
Explore
everyone.
the pairings. Yeah. We're all drunk at this point. We've been drinking too much. That's what happens.
We'll see you next time around.